Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Testimonial. Today, we are joined by one of the premier legal experts in Sri Lanka, Dr. Wijedasa Rajapakshe. Thank you for joining us here today, sir. Welcome. So, sir, to start this off, what inspired you to pursue a career in law?
The first thing was that I didn't want to be under any person or any authority. I wanted my independence.
Okay.
This is one of the best profession, whereas that any person can maintain his independence. Secondly, that our society in Sri Lanka it was bristling with all these corruptions and discriminations.
I see.
I thought that I can contribute to make this society much better by implementing the laws and upholding the rule of law in the country.
Okay. That's a great thing to hear, sir. Now, do you mind if I ask you what your early experiences as a lawyer shaped your worldview to be?
As a lawyer, when I joined the profession, it was a Herculean task because this legal profession was confined to a limited
To elite class.
to elite families. Yeah. And I came from the village, then without any assistance from the profession, but with the guidance of one of the greatest lawyer that I found as my senior lawyer, Mr. Ikram on President's Council, then I was able to stand on my own. Within a period of 1 year of my practice, I was able to appear against almost all the seniors at Halstop, which included President's Council and Queen's Council.
That's a great thing to hear, sir. Now, what I need to ask is law is a hard field. It's not a simple field. Some people think of it as an art subject, but it really isn't. So, what do you think are the qualities which allow a person to succeed in life as a lawyer?
If any lawyer has to succeed, that he must have overall experience, because when you have to appear in a case, the background of the particular case, that you should know. If it is a crime, that as to how possible that kind of crime could be committed. If it is a negligence case,
Yeah.
then what kind of negligence on which that you can claim damages. If it is a banking case, and whatever the case that you are going to appear, you must have that overall understanding on each and every field. Even if you don't have it, if you undertake some responsibility, you have to learn.
Yes. So, it's an open mind and an inquisitive mind, I take it.
Certainly.
Okay. Now, the next question is a bit more relating to the governance side of your experience. So, you served as a Minister of Justice under multiple administrations. Uh, what do you think is the most challenging part of upholding justice in such a climate?
I, of course, didn't had that much of challenge because whenever I held the portfolios, whether it is Minister of Justice or Education or Cultural Affairs, so whatever that I didn't have problem, because I had my personality and the capacity to stand on my own. The most of the ministers, the problem is that they can't do whatever they want because the hierarchy is controlling everything. In my case, I didn't have it that kind of obstacle. And at times when I had obstacles, is that I have resigned. Like in 2006, I resigned from the Minister of State Bank Development when I realized that the the hierarchy in the governance is not keeping in line with the way that I expected. Then I resigned.
I see. So, you hold a strict standard for yourself and others, I see.
Yes.
Thank
I have enough experience because there are 5 instances I refused to accept cabinet portfolios.
I see.
There are 2 times that I resigned, and there is 1 time that I have been sacked.
That's a long career and a long, interesting history.
But nobody could have changed my policy, that I stick to my policy.
It's something we all hope to do, sir. Can we circle back to that in a while, sir? But right now, can I ask, sir, what do you think is one of the most critical pieces of legislation you'd like to see passed
That I passed.
and that you want to see passed in the future?
No, I don't think that there is any critical nature of laws that we need, because we have almost completed whatever the necessary legal reforms we did during last 2 years, just after the bankruptcy of the country.
Yes.
Then he assumed duties as ministers. During that period, we were able to get through past around 93 legislations in the parliament. It was unprecedented.
Yes.
And we had drafted more than another 70 odd legislations, the bills. Some of the bills, I think 5 to 6 bills that the present government has enacted.
Hmm.
The most difficult thing was that laws relating to anti-corruption law, that the electoral expenditure law, then the 19th Amendment and the 21st Amendment.
Yeah.
They were, the challenging task, but we did successfully.
Okay. So I'd like to circle back to the 21st Amendment in a while. But you mentioned you refused positions and you were sad. Can you highlight one of those instances if it's not?
It's refused.
Yes.
Yeah, when I was appointed to the parliament as a national list member by Mrs. Chandrika Bandaranaike, then president,
Yeah.
I refused. When I contested and won the election in 2020 in the regime of Rajapakshe,
Yeah.
he offered me portfolios couple of times. I refused. In 2017, when I opposed to the long-term lease of Hambantota port
Ah.
to China, I opposed to it. Then I was removed from the cabinet. I have every kind of experience.
You kept your stance firm, and that is something of yes, we are grateful to you for, sir. So another thing is, you have been in the legal profession for 3 times my age. I'm 16, and you've been in this profession for nearly 5 decades.
4 decades completed.
4 decades.
Yes.
5 on the way, I see.
Yeah.
So in that time, the legal profession has definitely changed a lot, especially with the advent of technology and the advent of artificial intelligence. There must have been a lot of changes. So, how do you feel that has affected the legal profession as a whole?
It's a evolving subject. The law, it doesn't stagnate at the same place like in the past. That we have been adjusted depending on the development, so that the change in the world or the political environment in the country or the world, that we did all the reforms just to meet all the modern day requirements.
So, looking forward, now this broadcast is probably going to be seen by a lot of young royalists and a lot of young students from all around the country. So, what can you give us an advice to them in that regard about how to maintain policy while maintaining standards?
If you are a lawyer, that mere concentration of law won't help you. There are many other aspects that you will have to have some expertise.
Yeah.
The one thing is that you must know the law, you'll have to learn. The secondly, you'll have to update your knowledge. So every day the law is being changed in the world. The secondly, that you also must know how to how you can have an interaction with litigants. Finally, that you are being written by the litigants.
Yeah.
Then that your understanding and coordination you'll have to maintain.
Okay.
Then you also should know that's how to conduct yourself in courts, because if you are appearing before 10 judges, then they are behaving in 10 different ways. They are response to our argument in 10 different ways, and therefore that you will have to learn how the bench is reacting on your argument.
Okay.
At the same time, that you also must maintain a proper understanding and very close relationship with your colleagues, okay, in the bar. And at the same time, that you also should extend the necessary respect to the seniors in the profession. Those are the qualities of a culture then at the fair branch lawyers.
So looking back, is there a moment in your life, in a moment in your legal career, or any point at all, which you think is a major turning point, a place where you made a decision from which you can't go back, and something you feel helped you in where you are today?
No, there had been the landmark.
There's been a
Lot.
Yeah.
Just to say that in one example, when in 2003, when the Sri Lanka Transport Board was sold by then government, I was fighting alone. I was appearing against more than 10 to 12 President's Council and Attorney General in the Supreme Court. But I finally won the case. That is
Okay.
because of that, my effort, single effort. We have that's a government on public transport has a system. Yeah. Otherwise, we shouldn't have it.
Okay.
Yes, there are so many instances in that nature.
Okay, so another thing is something which we heard from our previous interview guests as well was that balancing a career in law is difficult with balancing personal life. It's a really complicated mix because you can't let home go out and you can't let out come in. So how do you manage that, sir?
This is a question that most of the people asking from me. Just because you are a lawyer, then you cannot neglect all the other things and just to be a workaholic in the legal field. Then you are not successful. We are human beings that we must have that our uh, close interactions, affiliations with our family members. That we must sacrifice some time for the family members, and at the same time that you will have to concentrate to cases. And at the same time, of course, in my case, I concentrate on my education, high education. I did about 7 postgraduates, including 2 PhDs.
Intensive.
Yes, while being in the parliament. Then I did all my duties in the parliament also as the chairman of the Pope. It was a rather, that's a difficult task.
Eventually.
Yeah, and it was very challenging, and I took a lot of risks, even the life risks at that time. But we did. I, of course, then the other field is my writing. I have published about.
I have seen your works.
Almost 40 books. Some of them are related to the law.
Yeah.
That in all 5 fields that I have, performed. In addition to that, of course, in my just for the leisure that I have written lyrics and that the composing in the music field.
I hope that there are musicians as well versed and talented as you, sir. There is a few, this is the last few, sir. So I'm not going to waste your time, but what do you expect the future ideal lawyer to be? The perfect lawyer of the future. What do you expect that to be?
So it is not a boasting that anybody can follow me.
I don't think that is, sir. Okay. And finally, I'd like to mention a lot of royalists, a lot of students in Royal are privileged. They have the ability, they have the access to facilities in our school. But in some other regions, in some other schools, it's a little more difficult for them to come across the same facilities. So, as someone who was able to climb up from that state and was able to excel in the world of law, not only in Sri Lanka, I'd say as an international figure, you're a hallmark of what Asian justice is. So, sir, what advice can you give to them amidst their difficulty to succeed?
The obstacles are not issues if you have the perseverance and the determination to be a member of a particular profession. You want to enroll into the legal profession. That is not an issue. That in my school that we did have any kind of facilities. Even then, the day level that I did my own at my home. Then I was selected to the state universities, but they didn't give me the faculty that I wanted. They gave me the art faculty. I resigned it and then I did my LLB externally.
Yet another resignation, sir.
Yes. Then while that I was studying
Yes.
my LLB, attorney at law, and my LLMQ. and also the banking diploma that 5.5 years. I was employed in the Bank of Ceylon when I ensured that I was self-dependent.
Yes. So that is a fundamental, that's the brownstone, that's the
Yes.
load bearing point. Okay then, sir. Thank you so much. Your advice, I hope it will ring true for generations, and I sincerely believe it will. So have a wonderful day, sir, and hope we'll be able to talk to you again in the future.
Welcome. Thank you very much for that the interviews that you conducted. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.